get your popcorn, put on a serious face, and slam yourself with cologne.
In case they're going for the hug. And then I spray my balls.
In case things go south.
Love is Blind Germany, the reunion came out just a couple of days ago, and after a wildly just sad season, this is where the juice lies, the fallout of it all. And this time I'm gonna try this one in original German with subtitles, and if you're like me, hearing these people talk in their real voices for the first time will have you going,
Ich bin mit dem Druck auf Greta nicht klargekommen.
Einfach keine Geduld mehr darum zu kämpfen, dass mich irgendwer nachvollziehen kann.
Who are you people? So yeah, along with that popcorn and cologne, grab your spectacles and let's get to it. Now to start things off, they throw in this dramatic intro where everyone's saying stuff like,
You want answers!
I want the truth!
Ich will heute endlich antworten.
Ich will heute Dinge richtig stellen.
You can't handle the truth!
and I love it because it's way over the top. Toga looks like a Bond villain, Hani's about to make Elias's eyeballs explode out of his head, and if the goal was for Marcel to dodge the psychopath allegations, he fails in a catastrophic way. So first things first, Alina and Elias. Has he screwed up yet?
Seid ihr noch verheiratet? Da lassen sie sich aber ganz schön Zeit.
Also, Alina muss es weiterhin mit mir aushalten.
But okay, one props to Elias because we've dunked on him all season. He has apparently added more vegan foods to his lifestyle for Alina. This season there were a lot of compromises coming from her end, so it's nice to see it's not totally one-sided. Well, except for the topic of her taking Elias's last name or not.
Man heiratet ja irgendwie und wird eine Familie, weißt du, wie ich meine?
Ja.
Wir werfen eine Münze. Kopf ich gewinne, Zahl du verlierst.
These two have been watching too much of the new season of Squid Game. And I guess the coin must have landed on its side or something, cause as of now, Alina is going with a double-barreled name. But enough of these two, let's get into some other couples, starting with Jen and Marcel, who basically have a sort of chicken and the egg argument over who started things. Did her aversion to physical touch cause him to withdraw inward? Or was it the other way around? She states, however, that from the moment they interacted in person, he was constantly criticizing her.
Du hast mir ab dem ersten Tag gesagt, dass ich zu viel bin, dass ich ruhiger werden muss. Du hast einen Streit gesucht und hast mir gesagt, weil ich zu nett bin. Das war unser erster großer Streit.
She also says he's refused to take accountability and is basically just lost in his cosmos, yoga, machete-wielding fantasy world. At which point, Toga comes in to defend his bro, saying, but Marcel was like this in the pods. And Jen goes, yeah, but at that point he also promised her more, so despite all of that, that's why she said yes to a proposal. Meanwhile, this whole time I was just thinking back to that one thing she said in the pods.
And this silence also means affection to me. Being able to be silent with one another. Because there's intimacy in that space.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
So, I don't know. Sometimes I just think we want something so bad we convince ourselves it'll be fine and work itself out, especially when it means continuing on in a process like this, and that's probably a little bit at play here too. And I don't just mean for Jen, but for everyone. Apparently, though, these two say they did talk for a couple of days after the show, but it went so poorly that they haven't talked since. So we're moving on to find out what the deal is with Hani and Daniel. I mean, he's getting close and pretty complimentary right off the bat.
Wie lange hast du gebraucht, dich fertig zu machen für die Männer?
So 1,5 Stunden.
Ah, doch schon so lange.
Das war noch nie ein Problem, oder?
Kunst braucht Zeit.
Das stimmt, das weiß ich auch aus eigenem.
The show then makes a statement about how many fans everyone has, but there were also a lot of hate comments, and that has no place here. At which point they bring out an iPad and start reading those hate comments. Most are about Hani's appearance and how she dressed up while on a blind dating show, accusing her of not being there for the right reasons. Jen quickly pipes up and says a woman should be able to wear what she wants, but also I kinda agree on that second part.
Zu den anderen Kommentaren habe ich gemischte Gefühle.
Welche genau meinst du?
Mit dem Sprungbrett. Ich wünschte, wir hätten noch mal vorher drüber reden können, aber was ich jetzt so mitbekomme, würde ich dem schon zustimmen.
But then the tea really comes out when Jen says that Hani just said she had feelings for Daniel during the show, but told Jen and Alina that she didn't have any feelings at all, which Alina confirms.
Du hast nie wirklich gut über Daniel gesprochen, was mir persönlich für Daniel sehr leid getan hat. Du hast dich eigentlich immer sehr, sehr negativ geäußert.
Und es passt halt überhaupt nicht zu dem, was du jetzt hier erzählst.
Oh, now it's getting interesting, and suddenly Daniel's sunny attitude and smiling compliments towards Hani have crumbled into a stone-cold stare forward. And Elias then adds in that he overheard them on a FaceTime call like 3 months ago. I'm assuming this was with Alina and Hani, where Hani was just straight up insulting Daniel.
Und jetzt, wie du
Was
hier
für
sitzt,
Beleidigung?
wie
Was
du
hab ich
hier
gesagt?
Lappen war, Hündchen war, solche Sachen wurden gesagt.
Doch, das stimmt.
Bro is not having a good time. Daniel, however, says that he trusts Hani, to which Hani says,
Who's a good boy?
Hani then reveals that she's no longer in real estate and is pursuing a career in TV.
Was sagen denn die anderen dazu?
Überraschung.
Interesting.
Shocker.
Hilarious, but also, you know, go off. So many people would do the same. But now we're gonna get into the Ilias of it all and his crush on Hani, starting with some unaired footage.
Es war von meiner Seite halt nicht so, dass ich sage, nur freundschaftlich.
Du siehst ja, wie ich bin. Findest du, du kannst damit umgehen?
Well, Alina sees this and confronts Hani on her jealousy test with Daniel, because Hani never mentioned any of this to Alina, and it ended up being at the expense of her relationship. Alina also states that Hani told her that Ilias was all in on Alina very early on, but at the same time, Hani was having these flirtatious conversations with Ilias by the pool.
And the Hani pile-on is one thing, but where's all the animosity for Ilias? I feel like he gets off scot-free in this reunion, and that's just wild.
Ilias then states that he should have been more respectful towards Alina and Daniel, but he did like Hani, and Hani used that, proving, as he sees it, that she was seeking attention from the start. At which point Hani gets upset and finds it hard to answer any more questions, so we move on to Sheila and Pascal. She asks Pascal if he only picked her because she was his only option, and Pascal states that it was in Crete where he discovered they just didn't have the spark he needed despite her being an intelligent and beautiful woman. That's it. And he didn't want to string her along, let her develop stronger feelings, and then hurt her even worse, which Sheila says she does appreciate. But okay, that's probably been enough time for Hani to recover, so let's turn back to them, and here's what Daniel had to say about their relationship status.
Seid ihr ein Paar? Seid ihr Freunde? Wisst ihr es gerade nicht? Holt uns mal ab.
Also wir sind auf jeden Fall kein Paar aktuell. Wir sind aber auch nicht nur Freunde.
Bro, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If she wanted to, she would. Next up, though, on our couples to cover is Sheila and Toga, where more footage comes out with Toga just blasting Sheila and the relationship, which Sheila also adds to.
Dann bringt er so Sprüche wie, ja, du kannst es ja nicht nachvollziehen, was es bedeutet, auf sein Äußeres reduziert zu werden, aber Hani tut es, deswegen verstehe ich mich mit ihr so gut. Man muss sich vorstellen, man ist da zurechtgemacht und fertig und dann kriegt man solche Sprüche reingehauen.
Toga then says he acted that way because he couldn't handle the pressure on Crete, but really, dude? Just say you weren't attracted to her and didn't know how to get out of the relationship, so you spiraled and looked for excuses. Daniel then defends Toga and says that he knows Toga is a good person, but Sheila interjects saying having your bro say you're good doesn't wipe away the way he treated her.
Da war eine Sandburg, da war eine große Sandburg, die obviously ein kleines Kind gemacht hat. Und wir laufen da entlang und er sagt mir, guck mal, das ist eine Sandburg, soll ich die zerstören? Und ich habe gesagt, nein.
No, not the little child's sandcastle.
Ich wollte ihn wegziehen und dann springt er da drauf und zerstört diese Sandburg.
Toga really went on vacation and decided to unwind like...
Nothing quite like the joy of sandcastling, eh, buddy?
What a demon. First it's the sandcastle, but before long, he'll be working his way up to taking candy from a baby, and then finally full-on Grinch. Toga then apologizes to Sheila, and I was saying, no Toga, don't just apologize to her, apologize to the little German kinder whose sandcastle you destroyed. After this, the topic of him trying to contact her comes up, but Sheila says it was only to see what she'd say at the reunion and try to clear his mind. We also don't hear anything about him and Hannah, but going on her Instagram page, they have a discussion there basically saying they're not together because of the distance and decided it was better to stay as friends. But finally, there's Sally and Medina. First, Medina is asked what he would have said had he gone first.
Ich hätte tatsächlich Ja gesagt.
I don't know if I fully buy that, but I'll take your word for it. And Sally admits that if he had said yes first, she likely would have changed her answer. But when filming ended, they did date for a short time, however...
Und seitdem sind wir auch nicht mehr zusammen, aber haben inzwischen auch ein sehr gutes freundschaftliches Verhältnis.
I guess God's going to think twice before you're sent any more of those signs that are just going to get ignored. But oh yeah, at the very beginning of this reunion, there was this surprise teased that Alina has for Elias, and...
Zeig uns doch mal, was ist das, Elias?
Mr. und Mrs. Papas.
Alright, well, cool. So I guess it's now time to close the book on this God-forsaken season, probably because the signs were ignored, and enjoy a nice, less than a month break before we head back to the States for more mess. So...
Farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
So that's it for this video on the Love is Blind Germany reunion. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe for more, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
Who's a good boy?